We've had our highs, we've had our lows. But was it really that bad? It's time to grade this month. Let's get to it. I'm Admiral Pegasus and this is Star Trek Fleet Command. Hi all and welcome back to the channel, and tonight we're going to be looking back on the first month, of the Deep Space Nine arc. Yes, what a month we've had. But hopefully we're going to get through this fairly quickly and we're going to end up grading it by the end of the video, and also I'm going to throw a couple of ideas for improvements. Yeah, let's see how that works. But firstly, before we actually get into the main content, first I'd like to ask you to smash the like button if you do end up enjoying this video. Smash it anytime you like. You know which one it is. It's that big thumbs up down below. Yeah. Also, click subscribe as well if you would like to know when I'm releasing future videos and when I'm going live. Well, when I'm actually planning to go live. Because at the minute I'm just using YouTube to announce I will be going to live on a specific day at a specific time. So, and then obviously I use, as you can see, that good old symbol up there, Prism Live Studio, to actually do my live streams. It's how I get around the not needing 1,000 subscribers. Anyway, also if you've got any comments or queries about the video or anything else in the game, please drop them in the comment section down below. I do read them and I will try and respond as much as I can. Now, all that being done, let's start with the bad. Yes, the bad. Now, there's not going to be much in the way of screenshots for this because I don't have many screenshots, but I'm sure you can. We'll get round to enjoying watching my miner mining. Yes, because I will just jump in before we get into the bad stuff. Bonus Refinery is coming in 19 hours and 9 minutes at the start of the recording of this video. By the time we finish recording, who knows how long will be left, but it's coming the following day. So make sure you've got the materials that you're going to need. G3, G4, G5, yes. Make sure you've got them ready. It's going to be 3 days long, looking at the timer above. So with that out of the way, let's crack on with the bad. So the initial launch. What a kerfuffle that was. We had our usual 3-hour maintenance, which finished at midday UK time or 11 AM UTC. Reminder of where you can find the UTC. You can find the UTC right here on your profile, on your main profile. As you can see, the current time is 2050 UTC, or it's 2150 here in the UK. So, yes, finished at midday. Now, for those of us who were lucky to get online when it came out, we got straight into it. We managed to start doing some of the new content, which we're going to lay out here. But they pulled it from us within a couple of hours because there was problems. As per usual, there was problems. It seems to be the reoccurring theme of this year. And the game was put back under maintenance. How long did that maintenance last? Well, I think it was somewhere between 5 PM and 6 PM UTC. Yes, it went on for quite some time. So the US servers, who were asleep when the game became back live, with the exception of the East Coast, who was probably actually up and wondering, oh yeah, we can start playing this game and all that. Unfortunately, the Pacific Coast were waking up to finding their game under maintenance and wondering what was going on. And yeah, the game came back live with nothing. Pretty much, it was just standard. Finish off what the previous event was. It wasn't Latin Monday that carried on rolling. It was some other events. I can't remember what it was. But they carried on rolling and they slowly filtered in all the new events. So by about 10 o'clock UTC, we was actually fully live and going into Deep Space Nine. Which brings us on to the next part, because the following day, yes, this game is a strategy game, and the players found a solution to the new content put in. And it wasn't the solution that Scopely had laid out for us in the month. It was a solution that's been in the game since day one. Oh, we have an announcement. Haha! We hate to interrupt our regular broadcast, but let's have a look. Oh, yes. Okay, so if we can just get that activated. For those of on the US servers, please be careful, because obviously a hurricane's brewing. So Scopely are activating a 3-day shield for you guys, just to give you some time if you can't get logged into the game. So please try and stay safe as best you can. I've never been in one, so I've got no idea what happens. So now, like I said, was moving into the second day, won't we? And what a day it was. Because, like I said, this is a strategy game, and Scopely want us to find a solution to the problems they put in front of us. And our solution ended up with this. Yes, an officer put in jail, a common officer who's been in the game since day one, was put in jail because she was our key to defeating the new armadas that they put in. Because obviously they brought in new space, didn't they? Yes. They brought in new space, and they brought in some new armadas. Just a quick touch, and the reason, we'll just do a quick touch now because we'll do further, but reason she was put in jail is because these armadas had these. Yes, critical chance increases, which was cumulative. It built every single round. And obviously Gala stopped that. Yes, so there was a massive outcry from the community. 24 hours later, she was put back on. But that also leads into the next problem, which was a recurring theme throughout the whole month. Lack of communication from Scopely. Yes, things didn't work right. What's new? This has been a recurring theme through the year. Nothing working right. Where was the communication from Scopely? Oh, in the dog's dinner bowl. Ready for the dog to eat. That's where the script was. So now, obviously our community manager Eco was in Dublin, so he was over this side of the pond for a change, meeting with the game designing team from what RevJuice was saying in his live stream. So obviously he missed a period there, and then obviously there was another period, I think it went Star Trek Day, Rev said. So there was a period where Eco was not available to communicate. Where was his backup? Where was his backup? There wasn't any. So, but that leads us into the next problem, which I said was a recurring theme. Yes, massive lag when the events kicked in. Where every time we had an event change, there was a massive lag. The points weren't scoring, things were going wrong. Caused massive problem. Makes you certainly going to love incursions when it comes around. Yay! But anyway, and then we also had unannounced changes to the calendar. For example, we'll jump into the events and you'll see recruit officers. This was scheduled in for a few days ago. Instead, they put incursions in and an incursions SLB with Honor Guard Worf and Khan. And they pulled this one. I believe this one was also meant to be an XSLB, a cross-server leaderboard. So they got pulled. Now it's here. After the act's finished. Excellent. But it wasn't all bad, was it? So now we'll move on to what was good. So as you can see as well, quickly we have a flash pass and it's Picard in it. Yay! Again, I've got no money to buy the £10 one. Figures. But there is the SMS overflow, which is obviously going to give you some DC rods. So I'm glad to see this flash pass come up because it now means I'm on course for a free-to-play being open to the next treasury in around about 4 months' time, around about January, maybe February. One of those two. If I've done my maths right. and there are certain things needed. But anyway, officers was the next thing. We were given 3 new officers, which, if you did participate in the leaderboards and you got lucky in the chest that they actually put in, because they put some new chests in. The first one is here. Yes, orb fragments. It's a currency that we got this month, so we was able to procure it, and obviously the 3 officers were placed in it. Now this was Star Trek Next Generation and Star Trek Deep Space Nine. For those of you who remember, both series crossed over. Emissary Parts 1 and 2 was the start of Deep Space Nine, which also tied in with a 2-parter where the Enterprise was docked at DS9. Worf went off to another system where some Klingons were being held by Romulans, where his father was supposed to have been, but his father died long before he got there. So, yeah. So there was a crossover. So they've done a crossover in the chest. There is obviously another chest in the event store, which we can't call an event store because it's not really an event store. But anyway, the officers we were given, as you've already seen from all the screenshots and everything, and if you've already got them, you'll know who they are. Yes, they are. Let's move myself here. We've got Benjamin Cisco as our epic. Yes, you was able to get him through the leaderboards, the SMSs, and like I said, the chests and all that. And there was also some free shards thrown out from Scopely as well. But the other 2 officers that was readily able to get was obviously Kira Nerys and Miles O'Brien. Now, all 3 of these put together, these were going to be your officer set for the Armadas. Some players have seen some good results for these. Me, I haven't, because I've only ran them once, and that was part of an alliance, and we got beat. An alliance Armada, and we got beat. There was 2 of us running this entire set, and we still got beat. Maybe we bit off more than we could chew. But anyway, so officers are good. Yes, I'm going to run some more tests when I get round to actually having enough directives to actually do it. But next up is it's no longer in the events tab, so I'm going to put a screenshot up of it. Yes, it is the Espionage Events. Now, this was brilliant. This is the new event that has been preached to us. I found this event pretty interesting. We are now currently looking for a spy. Yes, the 3 new officers that we've got are being framed. Who is the spy? Now, we've been told it's definitely going to be one of these 3. We've been getting a lot of intel stuff and all that where we've had to put some isolinear rods into to actually claim some intel back on what it is, who the spy is going to be. But it's not confined to this month. It's going to be spread over the course of DS9, so we're going to find out in December. The accompanying events we had with it was the intelligence questions, basically testing your knowledge on Deep Space Nine. I really found part 3 very interesting because it actually gave you some scripture from the episodes. Who said these lines? That was fantastic. The downside to that was you had to go to Google to find out. Unfortunately, if you are a brain box like myself, you could probably pick it up. It's just remembering what episode it actually was. But it was actually who said it, not which episode. So it was also pulling that as well. Me, because I've watched them that many times, I do know most of the scripts off by heart. Well, put them on and I can probably tell you most of what's going to happen. But yeah, that's me. I'm a weirdo. But also we had an event where here in Kardashian space, obviously this is a new addition as well. This is good, new systems. Shame they didn't actually surround it properly. We've got Chinkata. We've got the McAllister C5. That was a nebula. And for those of you who remember, that was the Next Generation episode, Chain of Command Parts 1 and 2, where the Cardassian fleet was hid in the McAllister C5 nebula, poised to attack a Federation system. It was a strategic system that they wanted. Picard, Beverly and Worf were sent off on a secret mission to Cestus 3 to quell a bioweapon, which turned out it wasn't actually a weapon. It was a plan to capture Picard. And Captain Edward Jellicoe came over from the Cairo to command the Enterprise to go up against these Cardassians, had a bit of a ding-dong with Riker, relieved him of duty, ended up having to politely ask him to fly the mission. And yeah, so as I can say, weirdo. I know my episodes pretty well. Well, most of them. But yeah, so here in Kardashian Space, with all the Armadas that was put in, we also had a PvP event run alongside it in Kardashian Space. So yes, you had to go do Armadas, but you had to watch out for other players, because Armadas was supposed to be a big thing for Scopely, a big PvP event. So this was to try and encourage it. How it worked on other servers, I don't know. On my server, it was a case of if players was in Armadas, you left them alone. But there were plenty of free floating ships. Once the Armada was over, you could go kill them. But if they're doing that Armada, just let them do that Armada. Then go kick them. So I didn't get the luxury of that one. I just looked for free floaters. But anyway, also there was an OPC hunting, where it's basically go around getting OPC from various ships, which also included the amalgam going into that space between Klingon and Klingon and Romulan territories, which is these systems here, these ones in Romulan and these ones in Klingon. Looking for the supply ships. Yes, you'd score points in this event as well for killing the supply ships and getting the plundered cargo. But you'd also get points if you actually stole plundered cargo from someone else. Now, I had a ding-dong with one of my Alliance members. In fact, he was a Commodore. And in fact, a couple of them. And I was saying, what's the issue? I popped him. What's the problem? It's an OPC event. And they was like, oh, well, you can go here, you can go here. It's easy to do the event in like 10 minutes and all that. And I said, right, okay, yeah, you got a point. But am I really going to search around all these systems looking for a supply ship, have to fly my amalgam to it, only to find somebody else has gone and killed it before I've got there? No. I saw OPC amalgams, I popped them. They saw me, they popped me. I had one player, I shot his amalgam with my amalgam. I didn't go in with a warship, I went in with the amalgam. I popped his amalgam. He came back 5 minutes later with his Saladin. Popped me. Tit for tat. What was the problem? I didn't see a problem, but I think it was more a case of the way I was boasting about, I'd done this, I'd done that. So I think they just didn't like it. But anyway, I enjoyed the OPC hunting. I enjoyed the PvP events, and also there was an event it wasn't part of Espionage. It was a separate event, but an event encouraging players to go into there and actually do their dailies. You just got points for doing your dailies, and it was every time you actually scored points, you got a certain amount of points towards the event. The payouts as well for the events were pretty good this month as well. I'm actually impressed with that one. So yeah, I wait to see what happens next month, because now I'm literally doing the hard save, ready to make a push to Shipyard 42 and get the Valdor. But anyway, now missions as well. Now, they were nice. They were nicely written. The characters, you could certainly see that there was a change in the actual character profile. It wasn't anything like what was in the show. For starters, Cisco, the first mission I did, I instantly saw, this is not Captain Cisco. This is not Benjamin Cisco. This is not the way he was. But yeah, that's the way he was written. But they were apparently written for a specific reason, because one of them was a spy. So that's the reason the characters seemed out of place. But you certainly could see it. And also with the missions was the IMS. Yes, completing your missions to get rewards, make your core missions, your side missions, turned into an IMS event, a server-based event, milestone event, which was brilliant because it means you didn't have to focus on your missions and everything. You could, as long as you chipped in with the rest of the server, you got points. Now, I'm a little bit peeved with Scopely because I've done the core missions, which you see live. I did a set of side missions before I did the core missions, which again was on a live stream. And then the last live stream I went to do was to do the last 2 side missions. Well, I didn't get the Deep Space Nine side mission, but I got the one for the Alliance Starbase, because the one for Deep Space Nine had disappeared after the arc ended. Where did that go? I put a note into Scopely. I'm going to wait and see what reply I get to that one. But I was kind of miffed, but the missions in all weren't actually particularly too bad. Now, Moving on to the next best thing for this arc, which is the Kardashian System and the Armadas. We'll go here to Celtrus. Celtrus 3, that's the one, that's the word I couldn't think of, it's Celtrus. So we'll go to Celtrus 3 and we'll call it this Armada. Now, new Armadas were added with what I personally believe are better payouts. They are better payouts. If we take a look at this, the Alliance credit, the Armada credits that you'll normally get are slightly lower, but you're also going to be getting this Kardashian loot. With the rares and the epics, you're getting superior Kardashian loot, and you're also getting the 5,000 new personal Alliance reputation points, which you're going to need for the new research tree. But yeah, to me, this is all better payouts. Now, you took the Kardashian loot into your Alliance store, the same place you take your Armada credits, and you could get new chests as well, which give you some bonuses. They give you reputation points, they gave you bits towards the new Alliance Starbase, which we'll mention in just a moment. But yeah, there was a lot of stuff, and to me, these are better. You're getting more in the long run than just using the regular Armadas. But I did do a video on this one, so go check it out after this one. So while we're here as well, we're just going to quickly refresh that miner, because I'm literally trying to push getting as much ore and crystal gas as I can ready for the refinery. Right, so Alliance Starbase is next. Now, I was helping the Alliance that I was in to actually build a Starbase. Obviously, I've since left, and I'm in the process of, well, yeah, I ain't even started it yet. There is a reason why, and I'll show you in a minute. But the Alliance reputation does, which I've also just mentioned, if you look above as well, it runs in... The reputation names are in line with the reputation you have for your factions. The points are reduced, so you don't need as many. I mean, in my alliance, I did actually get a lot further than this. I got to around about 2.5 million. Obviously, leaving my alliance meant, unfortunately, I lost all that, which is fine. There was a warning about that. If you leave your alliance, you will lose it. You don't gain it back if you rejoin them. So, but obviously I left. I've got to rebuild. But it's now a slow process for me. The new chests I mentioned for the Armadas are here. Here we go. We can have a look at this one. Some pretty goodies. And you're getting these assembly medals, which you can use towards your research. So, and then obviously you got them there as well. Now, the Starbase... Luckily, because I haven't started it yet, you're going to get to see the actual cost. For those of you who've not checked it out before your alliance actually jumped into it and got building it, that's how much it costs on the far side there. It's quite a bit, but I'll get there eventually and I can start building it. Now, at the minute, it is basically an oversized miner. But we have been promised it's going to get better, so let's watch this one. Now, the mini, before we jump on actually to the mini store, we're going to jump into the research I just mentioned, because obviously we had a new research tree added. It's full of nice little goodies here as well. So move myself down. As you can see, I've been proceeding through it. And also, it's not just pertaining to dealing with the Kardashians, but it's also things like oxygen scanners for your mining oxygen, territory buffs, as well for mitigation and piercing, Armada stuff, assembly efficiency for getting it down, plasma conduit starts going towards Armadas. And look at this, uncommon exchange vault loot earned. This is a good one, because this is going to boost how much you get from those uncommon exchange Armadas. Not regular, not Kardashian, the exchange ones. So yeah, you're going to get a boost on what you get there. Cargo plans, the amount of uncommon Armada credits you're going to earn. Another good one as well. But it doesn't just stop there with these ones. So what we got here, this increases the amount of loot that you're going to get off the Kardashians. Me, it's going to be a long time before I can do it, because as you can see at the bottom there, 2 million Alliance points. Yeah. But I'm already on level 2, so I'm happy. There's also this one as well. A bonus base mining rate for increasing how fast you mine concentrated latinum. Again, I'm now stuck because I've got to get to 1.2 million alliance before I can take this any further. But that's fine. That's absolutely fine. But then we move further on. Kardashian supply routes. Rare credits. Rare amount of credits. Boosted. And then you got up here. The rare exchange loots. Yes. And also at the very end, you've got the epics as well on it. Now, there is a lot of coming soon on this, because there's obviously going to be more research added. I'm guessing that's going to be through up until December. So let's just keep an eye on that one. Now, the mini store that we had. We'll just get into it. Here it is. So, here you go. Here's the other recruitment thing, which also recruitment chest, which uses these orbs and also gives you out some gives you these 3 officers. What's the other 2 officers they're going to give you? Oh, and Quark and Rare Wharf as well. So it is all RNG based, but as well you're going to get some of these isolinear chips as well, which you can then take over to the next things. Now, projectile skins. They are the best thing in this at the minute. And I will just say as well, those data chips, the multicolored ones, they will roll over each month, but you won't see the same. Now, yet the projectile skins, this is the one that has actually the most value. I will try and get my words out. This is the one that has the most value to the players. If you've already got them, then fair dues, you don't really need to go. You're not going to have them show. But they got 2 weapon ones, and the center one, the Triaskin one, is a protected cargo. A lot of benefit to players if you want them. The next thing we had, which is not here, was the ship skins. Now you had the Discovery, which was a Section 31 skin, and you had the Salvager for the Dwarfisha. Check out my video on the Salvager, because obviously I went and got the Salvager. I already had Discovery, so I went and got the Salvager. And I'll tell you what, increasing the amount of parts I get is going to mean I can boost my Fisha up faster. So, finally on this bit was the resource materials. Forget that. That's a bloody joke, that pack. It is a bloody joke. I've dipped into it, yes, because I needed to get some extra materials, just to bang a piece of research in on my path to Shipyard 42. So I know that's going to be ready by the time I get there. But other than that, that is a massive waste. If you really want to dip into it, that's your choice. Dip into it, but I still say it's a bloody joke. Anyway, but also we had the espionage. As you can see, it's not here, but we also had espionage, where we could take some isolinear data rods, and obviously get some intel on these 3 officers about who could be the spy. What they're actually going to be, it doesn't actually give you any information. You just put them in there. It's a bit like playing a gambling wheel in Vegas. You got that big table with that spinning disc at the end. I can't remember what it's called. Drop it in the section if you can let me know what it is. The Dabo wheel. The Dabo wheel. You put your money down. You put your counters down on the board. Run it round. Let the ball fly around. See where it stops. The person who gets that number wins the lot. And it's something similar to that. Where are you going to edge your bets? Who do you think it's going to be? Are you going to spread it across all 3 of them? I have. Or are you going to pick a particular officer? It's entirely up to you. I'm spreading my bets. What the rewards are going to be like in December, I don't know. We'll see. But anyway, so what am I going to grade this arc? And I'll tell you what, we're going to use this because we've got space at the far end, and we're going to grade it a D. Yes. And basically, it's not been such a bad arc. It's actually not been too bad. But we've got to take it back to the bad. Lack of communications. The launch. This was supposed to be the crowning achievement of this year. A chance for players to see that the all is not lost with this game. And Scopely screwed it up. With a capital S. Yes, they screwed it up. The launch was a kerfuffle. Smashing a common officer in jail just because we found it as a solution. Okay, I best deal with this, haven't I? There we go. But she was our solution to the Kardashian Armadas, and they threw her in jail. Like I said, lack of comms, event changes, and it was just a farce from start to beginning when it came to various certain things. But we can take some good from this month. We've got a new star base. What it's going to turn out like, we do not know. We shall find out. But that's there. So, now, room for improvement. Because, like I said, I've got a few ideas of where certain improvements can be made. Now, that's one thing I always hate when it restarts again like that. It gets with them. Now, directive sourcing. It needs a massive improvement now. We are now at the point where it needs to change. Because we actually have 4 different types of armadas that now require these directives. The first one is sat over there on the far side of the screen. A regular armada or faction armadas. They need them. Your sarcophagus armadas in Klingon space. They need them as well. Isogen armadas in Origin space. They need regular directives. And now we've got the Kardashian armadas. I think it's about time they need changing. Now, my idea for changing that would be in here, instead of giving us 15 per day, give us 50 uncommon, 50 rare. Now, to me, that seems fair. Yes, when you've got an alliance getting 15 per day here, and then going down there and pulling an extra 100 every 6.5 days, that's 2 armadas per player per week. Now, if you're in an alliance, yeah, that's a few. But the one thing is that you're relying on players to actually start armadas. Not everyone in an alliance actually participates. There's a lot of names in the alliance I was in I never saw in armadas. I never saw starting armadas. How they got through armada events, I really do not know. I think they were just pretty much doing this, mining. It's just like glorified Farmville to them. But, and that's our alliance of 77. That was including myself at the time. But the problem is when Kardashian Armadas started, we burned through those directives somewhat chronic. Yes, now that's an incentive for players to go to the in-app store and buy the directives. But free-to-play players don't want to do that, so we're reliant on everybody else. Should we really be reliant on everybody else? Or should we be helping out? So, give us these 50 uncommon per day. That means every 2 days, we can actually start one of those green armadas. 50 rares a day. It's a 200 to start. So, every 4 days, 1 rare armada. That's us contributing to the alliance. The exchange armadas, they're fantastic the way you can source them. Uncommon and a rare once every 2 days. An epic every 10 days. If you want to go for the epics, which apparently there's one right there. I don't know if that's a screen error or that actually is there. But epics, yeah, you could do them you could do them as like, give us some directives in the chest for leading. Them and the blue ones, like you do with the exchange. Maybe plan it out so it works out. On average, once every 20 days, you can do an epic. Again, we're contributing to the alliance. This is supposed to be an alliance-based event, isn't it? Let's contribute. Let's get more directives so players can actually contribute. Is that going to cut into Scopely's bottom line? No. I think putting Jailer and Gale cut into their bottom line a little bit. But hey ho. Anyway, next up is improved comms. It's a given. If Eco's not there to give us information, have somebody to back him up. But then again, don't throw Eco under a bus. Because that's what they've been doing a lot lately. They've been throwing him under a bus. Things have happened and they've not told him about it and he's having to react. Maybe that's the job of a community manager. I do not know. I'm not a community manager. But I don't think it's fair on him, the fact that they do that to him. They just shove him under a bus, do things and don't bother telling him. So, but also the poor soul because he's employed by Scopely, he's got to act like a shield for Scopely as well. He's got to take the flak. So, yeah. But the comms side of things all boils down to Scopely's little mantra of being secretive. Yes, Scopely are very secretive about what they're doing and what they're releasing and how they're doing things. This needs to stop because you're disrespecting your players. You are. You're massively disrespecting them. After the year that you've given us of issues, bugs, you need to start respecting the players more, especially the ones who pay. I mean, they're paying you money to play this game and you're disrespecting them with crap launches, massive lag problems, and what are you doing about it? Oh, we'll just launch the next piece of content. We'll just launch the next piece of content. Is anything being sorted? Don't know. I don't work for them. But anyway, Scopely really needs to stop being secretive. They need to let us know what's going on. If you're going to do changes, by all means, do your changes, but give us a heads up. You put on your calendar, subject to change. Yes, subject to change, but give us an announcement. It's going to happen. Don't just do it. Tell us. But anyway, that is the arc. I'm ending this on a D tonight because, yeah, that's where it is for me. I'm hoping the next 3 months are going to see a massive improvement. Who knows, I might even rejoin my alliance. I don't know. It depends if I can get over a few issues. So, but anyway, this has been the arc grading. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. I do apologise if the video's actually gone on longer than it should have done, but that's what happens. I'll see what I can do in editing. Anyway, don't forget to smash the like and the subscribe. Until the next video, stay safe, live long and prosper. Good night.